care. Alright guys, so welcome back. Thank you for hanging out, spending a few moments here with me. If you're new, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now we're going to go over a few topics here. Number one is what we can kind of expect with EV, and you know, there's been reports a few months back saying that there was going to be some kind of a shocking EV noise. Number two is the Motor One versus the Motor Trend type of controversy. And then the last is basically an update on myself and my charger, where my head is at, and what it is that I plan on doing moving forward. So, you know, number one, I wanted to make a video going over this EV with a shocking noise, and Dodge is kind of hyping up that the EVs are not going to be quiet. And when we think of EV, we think of very silent speed. When you go to the drag strip and you see a Tesla rip down, it's just pure silent if no one else is you know, running next to it. So, you know, we don't really think of noise when we think of EV, but there are a handful of EV options out there that actually have this kind of jet engine type of sound to it. And I'm sure it improves the driver experience. It's certainly not what we are used to with the V8s, but it is noise nonetheless. And I do like the fact that there's something making a little bit of noise, and it's not phony noise. Tesla actually got into some kind of legal issues with having noise being outside of the car through speakers. So, you know, EVs are no longer allowed to do that. Now, I just released a video going over a Motor Trend article, and shortly after that video, I noticed that Motor One and a handful of other publications were saying that Motor Trend had false information. You know, Dodge executives are saying that that is just not true. The problem that I have with these Motor One kind of reactions to the Motor Trend is that their response does not have a name to it. Okay, they just said a Dodge is saying that these rumors are false. You can't pinpoint who's saying that Motor Trend is wrong. Okay, it's just an anonymous source. I kind of take that with a grain of salt. Either way, what we do know is factual is that the 2023 Hellcats are going away. 2024 EVs are getting introduced, and Tim Kuniskis said that there was going to be some kind of overlap with the 5.7 392 and the V6s with the EVs. So nobody knows when the current 5.7 392 and V6 are going to actually get the axe. Okay, it's kind of silly in my eyes if they just roll out EVs and offer nothing else. So nobody knows factually when that's going to happen. The reason why I'm so on board with obviously a new Hemi is because I think just rolling out EVs is basically a death sentence for Dodge, especially when you have Ford that's already claiming that they have hybrid V8s and they have hydrogen combustion engines already in the testing phases, and they have patents and everything like that. So Dodge, I think, is going to be a little bit behind the curve, along with Chevy. So, you know, we're gonna see how that plays out. Now, from my standpoint, I'm gonna make this short because I'm sweating my butt off in Florida here. It's 97 degrees, and you know what? From my charger standpoint, I really am waiting on a transmission. I just sold my house in New York about 2 weeks ago or so. So I'm currently looking at a house, and once I get into a house, then I'll have some storage and an area to either buy a transmission somewhere and store it and get the ball rolling with my charger. I'm kind of stuck in a limbo type of situation right now. I don't have a house. I have an apartment with very little storage, and you know, the idea of buying a storage, has crossed my mind, but I really don't want to deal with that. I'm going to get myself into a house, and then I'll continue down the road with the charger. The next thing is the transmission and the fueling, and I keep weighing between a Built 70 and a Hellcat HP 90, leaning towards an HP 90, but I'm really dependent on my buddy Mac to line that up, get a good HP 90 and a drive shaft to kind of plug it into my charger, and then we can crank up the boost once I have a new pump and new lines in there. So that's really where my head is at with the charger. And then once that's in there, the performance is all done, I'm going to you know, kind of fix the fender flare that kind of looks out of whack a little bit, and do some cosmetic stuff. But the internal stuff in the charger looks phenomenal. Everything but the fueling and the transmission really needs to get done, and then it's just beauty work. And then I'm going to go to the drag strip, guys, and we're going to be lining up against some stiff competition. I'm going to go up to Orlando Speedway, and we're gonna have some drag racing footage. This is kind of a stalling time for me, and it's because, you know, I'm stuck in limbo. I'm hanging out with my family. I absolutely love the fact that I'm hanging out with my boys so much. My wife just started a new job 5 or 6 months ago, and she's now starting to really catch her stride. She's definitely enjoying Florida, and you know, we're just kind of settling in and trying to figure out where exactly we need to buy a house, and good school districts and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really trying to get myself into a 3-car garage. This way I have plenty of car part storage, and we could get the charger really more of back to a focal point of, you know, within the channel. So I know a lot of the stuff that I've been posting is very traditional type of YouTube stuff, you know, Mopar news, and, you know, featuring other people's rides and this, that, and the other thing. And that's what I kind of have to do until, you know, my charger is, you know, in a situation where I can then buy parts and continue down the progress. So, but I mean, I still drive it around. I still, you know, have fun with it, but I just don't push it to that point. So